this is Lourdes Galang, and welcome back to our training for network marketing for Filipinos on how to network the right way. Now, we're moving on to our next training, which is closing. So, after you have presented to your prospects, you need to learn on how to close. Okay, so the keys to closing is asking your prospects after the presentation, what did you like best about what you saw or heard? Okay, so usually, ang nakagawian natin after we have presented is that we ask them, so ano sa tingin mo? So what do you think about it? Now, the problem is when you ask those kind of questions is that you're giving them an option to to say to you something that is not good about your presentation or about the business opportunity, or they could just give you an answer which is okay lang, okay naman, 'di ba? But if you ask them this question, kung ano yung nagustuhan mo or pinaka nagustuhan mo dun sa napakinggan mo, you're only leaving them room to answer you positive reaction to what they have seen or heard based from your business presentation. So, parang you're giving their minds an option only to think about the best or positive things that they saw from your business opportunity, which is really a good thing, because if they will only be thinking about the positive things and the best things that they've seen from your business presentation, that would convict them more that, wow, well, this is really a good business opportunity. There's a lot of good things in it, diba? And then after that, you ask, are you ready to begin your training? So you can, if you have asked questions before of what their pains and problems are, like if they're looking to resign from work, then you could, include that in this question. Are you ready to begin your training so you can, later on resign from your work, or so you can start investing for the future of your children, or start saving money for the tuition fee of your children when they get into college. So it depends, what they've told you, what could be their why if they're going to join this business. And then you are the expert, okay? So lead them to an action step. You don't wait for them. Well, obviously, doon sa mga tao sobrang interesado, they're just gonna come up to you and say na, okay, parang I want to sign up, I'm in. But for those who are shy and really not that confident enough yet to say na, okay, I really want to do the business, or they're not keen to admit it to you yet, then you should lead them to an action step. So it's either you sign them up as a distributor, or try the products, be a customer first. Let them try the products, let them be a customer first. If it's effective for them, they're gonna sign up as a distributor to take to take advantage of the discount for being a distributor, and because they love the product, they're gonna be a loyal customer. Or no thanks, they still need additional follow-up meeting. So these are the three things or three actions that you should lead your prospects into. Do not wait for them, to give you a signal or sign or verbally say to you that, okay, here's what I want to do. So you always have to take the position of being an expert. Remember, you're a professional network marketer, so you better know what you're doing. Now, when you're closing, okay, you have to test. There's gonna be a test of your belief. Now, if you ask these questions and you answer yes, you're not going to be afraid to close or even ask the question to sign them up as a distributor or to join your team. You know why? Because you have a firm conviction in your heart and in your mind that, I believe in my product, I believe in my industry, I believe in my company, and in myself, that I'll be able to help you with this business opportunity. So you ask yourself, do you really believe that you are helping someone? Because if you only see your prospect as someone who you can earn from, then you're gonna have a hard time dealing with yourself to close that sale, because guilty ka. You'll feel guilty that you're only looking at this person as a dollar sign or as a peso sign because you're going to be earning once that person signs up. But if you're looking at that person and you believe, that you're going to be able to help this person with this product or this business, then you won't, even doubt yourself. And then if you really believe that, you have someone's interest placed first, kung alam mo na yung interest ng tao na yun ang iniisip mo at hindi yung pansarili mo lang na interest, you wouldn't really be afraid to ask the question if they want to sign up as a distributor. Because in your heart and in your mind, you are doing a favor for them. You're actually giving them a good opportunity that might change their lives. And then, do you really believe that the products can help others? So, kung ikaw mismo hindi mo naman ginamit yung product mo, matatakot ka na tanungin, di ba, na itry nila yung produkto kasi hindi mo alam kung ano yung magiging effect sa kanila or ano yung magiging result. But if you yourself use the product and see how effective it was and how you love the product, then you're not going to be able to have a hard time asking them to try the products or even be your loyal customer because you believe that your product will really help them. And do you really believe that the industry can help others more things in life? So if you have all this belief set na alam mo na makakatulong yung produkto mo at matutulungan sila na mabago yung buhay nila, they could achieve what their dreams are, and they could really change the lives of other people as well, then there's nothing to be afraid of in asking the question if they will sign up as a distributor. Now, if you really believe, then we must help our prospects overcome their objections because we must help them. So when you're being thrown by objections, once you've asked them if they want to sign up or join your team or even try your product, but as I've said, if you really believe, then you'll have that strong conviction in your mind and heart that you can overcome whatever objections they throw at you because you want to help them. You must help them. So remember the 4 beliefs. You have to have a belief in the industry, in the network marketing industry. You have to have a belief in your company. So if they throw an objection about your company or about the industry, about the network marketing that's an illegal company or a pyramid or a scam, if you do have a belief in your industry and in your company, you'd be able to overcome those objections. And if you have a belief in the products and a belief in yourself, those are the 4 beliefs that you should have a great foundation when you're doing the business. Okay? Kasi, you're gonna be handling objections that will particularly run around this, beliefs that you have. It's about your industry, your company, the products, and yourself. So, pwedeng they can throw an objection about you being a failure in other businesses, diba? So, kung hindi ka ganun ka-confident at wala kang tiwala sa sarili mo, and if you don't believe in yourself, you might easily get, rejected, depressed, and frustrated that, okay, parang, no one will ever join, and, no one from my family or friends will ever join me because they know me or they perceive me as a failure. So, you have to remember to work on these 4 beliefs. Handling objections. So how do we view objections? Now, if the fear of getting objections prevents you from presenting, we need to change our paradigm or view of objections. So, kung hindi ka makapag-present because you're afraid to handle objections or that you're going to be getting objections, you have to remember, when you're in this business, you will be getting a lot of objections, rejections, okay? But if those fears going to stop you, then you're not going to be able to reach your final destination here in the network marketing industry. Or you're not going to be successful in this network marketing business. So you better change your paradigm or how you view objections. Now, you have to view objections as a dialogue to help influence them according to what is in their best interest. Maybe the reason, some of the reasons why they're objecting is because they haven't really understood or saw the value of the product or the business opportunity, and they have these questions in mind. They still have these doubts that needs to be answered in order for them to make a decision. And it's your responsibility to get into that dialogue to help influence them. If you're able to answer their questions that's preventing them, okay, to make a decision and it is in a form of an objection, if you're able to overcome it, then you're going to be able to help them to make the decision. Now, Brian Tracy reminds us there are no sales without objections. Lahat ng sales may objections. Even if you're selling to your wife, to buy this kind of rubber shoes, your wife can object that, that shoes is too expensive. Especially if it's a Jordan, your wife is just gonna say to you that that is too expensive. And, the next thing, you'll have to influence your wife to understand or see the value why Jordan shoes are really expensive. Okay, so you know there are no sales without objections. If you think you can always get away with doing sales without objections, then you have to remember that objections are not only part of our business, they are a part of any area of life where decisions need to be made. So I've said, as an example, husband and wife have a dialogue about where to go on vacation. So you can either crumble or feel rejected if your wife doesn't agree for you to buy that, Jordan shoes because it's too expensive. Then you just have to settle for it, diba? Now, why do we fear objections? Because we don't want to be uncomfortable. Sino ba naman ang tao na gusto na sumagot sa mga objections? When I started in selling, this is what I hated most. When I have to answer objections from customers just to get that sale. And one thing that I have learned during my training as a sales consultant while working in London is that, handling objections is actually a way for you to uncover whatever it is that is stopping the customer to decide to push through with the sale. So, minsan, yung customer, gusto niya yung product or yung business opportunity, pero may mga questions siya na hindi pa nasasagot, and that's what's stopping them. And, those questions are thrown as you as an objection. So you see those you see those questions as an objections on your part. But for them, it's just a question that they have in mind that needs to get satisfied or be answered so that they can make the decision. And then, no, don't want anyone else to be uncomfortable. So, ikaw naman, feeling mo, because you're handling an objection, it's also uncomfortable on the part of that person asking that question. And then, you don't want to make anyone decide something they'll regret. So, as we've said, diba, na yung mga objections na yan, there are questions that will help your customer or your prospect to decide. And you're afraid to handle the objection, or we fear objection because we don't want to make, someone decide something that they regret. I've had these experiences as working as a sales consultant, and I work over the phone, on the phone, and I advise people what kind of mobile phones and mobile contracts would fit their wants and needs. And sometimes you don't want to make I don't want to actually give them options from myself, because if they choose this and then if 3 days later after they have received the phone and they decide that this is not what I really wanted, but the girl, the sales consultant told me over the phone that this is what's perfect for me, or this is what's gonna fit my needs, and then they're gonna return it in 7 days kasi doon you can return whatever you have purchased over the phone within 7 days kasi you were not able to see the product. So it was just described to you over the phone. So you have the right, to return the product back to the company. And, sometimes it makes me, it makes me fear objections when I get it. Dahil nga, baka pag may binigay ako na option sa kanila and they decided to choose from it, and then if they regret it, they will return. So, mawawala yung commission ko dun sa sale. So, it was something that that was stopping me from handling objections. Parang pag nag-object sa akin ng customer, I just, okay, fine. Then, I don't entertain, answering the questions of the customers anymore, because I don't want to get myself involved in a sale that, later on will be returned. So the cause of objection. What are the cause of objection? It's lack of education. If you don't know something, or if you don't know anything and something is being thrown at you that it is good and you really don't know anything about it, you object, 'di ba? Like say for example, siguro if you're a parent and then your daughter one day tells you that she's going to marry this guy and you don't know that guy personally yet, your tendency is to object, 'di ba? Or even sabihin na natin your daughter tells you that, I want or this is my boyfriend. Parang you want to object na parang who is this guy? Parang, do you even know him? But obviously, I mean, siguro naman yung daughter mo would not even get into a relationship if he doesn't know the guy. But syempre as a parent, you would want, to get to know the boy first before he even becomes the boyfriend of your daughter, 'di ba? But, for you to ask, him, it's part of, a lack of education, 'di ba? Pag hindi mo talaga alam ang isang bagay or hindi mo kilala, you tend to object on the things that you don't know. So, like say, for example, you bought a product and sabi sa'yo, it's easy to use and it's very comfortable to use. Now, if you lack education on that certain product, you tend to object na, how can you say it's easy to use? I mean, do you even know how it works? Or do you even know how to use it? Yung mga ganong objection na ituthrow mo dun sa sales staff or dun sa sales consultant na kausap mo, 'di ba? Because you still lack education, and it's, the responsibility of that sales staff to educate you and to show you how easy it is really to use para masatisfy yung question mo sa sarili mo na madali nga ba talaga siyang gamitin, 'di ba? Previous bad experience. Okay? When you've had a bad experience with a network marketing company, and one friend tells you that, oh, parang, this is a good network marketing company. Obviously, coming from a bad experience, you tend to object, no, na parang lahat ng network marketing company pare-pareho. Kasi feeling mo tuloy, nagiging tingin mo, lahat ng network marketing company would, give you the same or similar experience that you've had previously, diba? So, those are the causes of objections that you'll get. It's either a lack of education, they don't know anything about it yet, that's the reason why they're objecting, or it's because they've already experienced it and they know firsthand, how bad, their experience was, and it might happen again, or they have this thinking that it will happen again. Now, no one has to be uncomfortable, okay? It is simply a dialogue to see how you can help. It is all in the way you view it. So, kung ang perception ng customer mo or ng prospect mo ay ganon, then obviously on your end, you have to see it in a different perspective. And if you see it in a negative way, then that's what's gonna happen in your dialogue or conversation. So, puro negative things na nang lalabas sa dialogue or sa conversation mo with the prospect. Now, we don't make decisions for people. We help influence their decision in their best interest. And when thinking of objections, we picture a person in court angrily slamming their fist down while shouting, "I object," when in fact they are simply saying, "Please help me with more info to say yes." So very understandable that, as I've said before, you don't make decisions for people. Remember dun sa pag-invite natin sa prospects, there are more right words that you can say to your prospect when you're inviting them. And you have to eliminate, those words that implies you're making the decisions for them, because you only want to influence them in their decision. And you have to make them decide for themselves. Hindi ikaw yung magde-decide para sa kanila. Now, objections provide valuable information and indicate interest. So, if you're able to provide the valuable information that they need that will answer their objections, then they're gonna go for it. I mean, wouldn't you agree that when you believe strongly in what you represent, you have an abundant attitude and aren't attached We don't dread the objections. We don't fear facing what we are confident of. So again, if you have the right posture with your network marketing company and with your network marketing business, you'll be able to answer their objections without the fear of being rejected, because you believe in the product and the business opportunity. Okay, now just a sample of just suppose close from Brian Tracy is that you have wrapped up your presentation and the person wants it and is interested and says they don't know if they should. So again, you have to be there to help them, okay, to make an informative decision or to influence them to make that decision. Now, you can say there seems to be some question in your mind that's causing you to hesitate about going ahead right now. Do you mind if I ask what it is? And then, you can ask specific question. Is it the money? So you need to ask your prospect, okay, if there are any questions. Tayo kasi usually when we present, we don't want to be bombarded with, objections. So we just, tend to shut down them, raising any questions to us. But it would be much better if you will be the first one to ask them if they have any questions in mind, because in that way you're actually helping them to uncover whatever questions or objections they have in mind before making a decision. Now, they will either say yes or no, and that's a very important point. In addition to that, there is any other reason preventing you from going ahead. So again, ask them if there is any reason at all that's preventing them to go ahead and joining your business. Now, people are reluctant to give it to you because they know once you answer it, they have no reason not to go ahead. Tama naman, 'di ba? Minsan yung mga tao, parang ayaw na rin nilang sabihin yung objection nila, or don't want to throw any questions at you, because the moment that you're able to answer those objections or questions, parang they're bound, to commit or to actually make a decision to join you. Kasi ano pa nga bang pwede maging excuse nila or reason nila why they would not want to join your business, when in fact, you've answered all their questions and you've handled all their objections. Now, keep saying in addition to that, and the last answer they give is the main reason. So, as you uncover whatever questions or objections that they might have, and until siguro they say yes, that they'll be joining the business because they're fully satisfied with your answers, then keep on asking questions. Keep on asking questions. In addition to that, what other questions you might have in mind. Okay? So, this is the last part of the training for closing, and a brief overview of how to handle objections. And then the next training will be specific, objections that your prospect's gonna throw at you and how to deal with it. So how to handle those objections.